champions do not become champions on the field. They become recognized on the field. They become champions because of their daily routine and the commitment to excellence. Players and coaches do not decide their future. Players and coaches decide their habits, and those habits decide their future.
Today's Coaching Coordinator podcast is a quick cast with Sean Lewis, who spoke at the Southern California Football Coaches Association clinic this past June. In this segment, he talks about their culture, their Flash Fast culture, with FAST an acronym standing for exactly what those values are to their program. And then he goes into habits. I think this is a great one for you here as you get into camp, and a lot of great reminders that you can share with your players. The entire talk is available on CoachTube. The link is in the show notes. I'll also share a code at the end of the podcast for you to save on this talk. Here's Coach Lewis.
And it's our job to teach them what is important, right, in our families, what is important in our cultures. And we as coaches, we need to define that. We need to educate them on that. And it needs to be a daily process. We cannot assume that they know what it means to be a member of our football family within our football culture. Okay. So here at Kent State, our Flash Fast culture, fast is the way that we play. Right, you turn on our tape in all three phases. We're going to attack on defense. We're going to be multiple on special teams. And we're an up-tempo, spread, gun, tempo team when it comes to our offensive style of play. But FAST is also an acronym for our core values. First and foremost, all right, we're going to have fun. With what we're doing within our football family, and as hard as we're going to work, we're going to have fun, okay? Every day that our kids get to come to the building, they get to play football. All right, we're not gonna work at football. We're gonna play football, but we're gonna do the work that winning requires. Because at the end of the day, when you can hang 69 points on your rival, the way that we did this past year with the school down the road, 20 miles away, grab our wagon wheel, run into the locker room, sing the fight song, celebrating club dub. That's a heck of a lot of fun. That's a hell of a lot of fun, and there's a lot of work that's required in that to do that, to go 13 for 13 on third down, never have to punt. And again, score 69 points. That's a lot of fun. So to do that, we need to have fun day in and day out. And we need to have fun competing daily. All right. We need to know and understand that competing is a way of life in our culture. So it's unacceptable, and I will not tolerate in a staff meeting where a guy says, hey, this guy doesn't love to compete. Well, as the position coach, as the coordinator, as the leader of that unit, you need to teach him. You need to educate him. You need to let him know the reality of the situation is, if he's in this football family, he's going to compete, and we're going to go about our business, and we know that competing is fun. So everything we do, all right, it pays to be a winner, and we're going to emphasize winning on a daily basis. All right. We know that we're going to be accountable for our second core value. All right. And the way that we define accountability, because I think in society, being accountable or being held accountable, when we tell our kids, hey, we got to hold them accountable, it's never because they scored 6 touchdowns. We never hold anyone accountable because they had 6 sacks, 3 TFLs, 2 picks, and you grab little Johnny after the game and say, hey, I got to hold you accountable now because you set the school record for tackles. Really need to hold you accountable. So we put a major emphasis on accountability, that is a positive, because when we're accountable, and I can count on you to do your job, I can trust you to do your piece, all right, then we can execute with conviction together. And that's the beauty of football, in my opinion, that there is no right field in football. It's all 11 guys working in unison every single play. And if the one guy's off, man, do the football gods find you, okay? So we need to be accountable to one another. And we work very, very hard to make sure that we reshape the word accountable or accountability as a positive so we can execute with conviction together, right? We're going to be smart. I don't want to hear about all the problems. I don't want to hear about all the things that we cannot do. I want to hear about solutions. I'm very fortunate to have a great staff around me, guys with diverse backgrounds from all over the country, all different levels of ball that have come up with all different types of solutions, right? I don't worry that we don't have the nicest, shiniest, flashiest things here at Kent State. That's okay, because I got the best people, the brightest people, the smartest people in all the group of 5, all right? And we find ways to get solutions, and that goes for our kids as well. We find ways to get things done. We don't dwell on what we don't have. We don't dwell on the problems. We dwell on the solutions. All right. And we find a way to work smarter, harder, together, longer, and we're going to be in business. And our last core value is toughness. And very simply put, no matter how hard things get, we're willing to go harder, longer than anyone else. All right. And because of these core values, knowing that we're going to have fun, knowing that we're going to execute with conviction together, knowing that we're going to be smart, knowing that we're going to be tough, to me, those are objective truths. If you think about the best teams that you've had and the teams that you've competed against, the guys that play together, the guys that do it smart, the guys that do it tough, and the guys that are having the most fun playing the game and competing, snap after snap after snap, they win. That's an objective truth, right? So I can then show that objectively to my kids, give them examples of it day in and day out, and we can go to work, and I know that we're going to win a heck of a lot more than we're going to learn, all right, because of our Flash Fast culture and these core beliefs. All right, so that's kind of where it starts at a 30,000-foot level. All right, where really the rubber hits the road, all right, is day in and day out with our daily habits. Okay, so this quote really kind of resonates it for us, and we review this at the start of every single phase, all right, of what we do, whether it's winter conditioning, spring ball, summer conditioning, which is right around the corner here for us, training camp, the season, bowl prep, etc. All right, the importance of daily habits, because at the end of the day, guys, champions do not become champions on the field. They become recognized on the field. They become champions because of their daily routine and the commitment to excellence. Players and coaches do not decide their future. Players and coaches decide their habits, and those habits decide their future. We can control our habits. We can't control our outcomes. So instead of dwelling on being a champion, we need to have laser focus on the things that we need to do each day, moment to moment, to control our habits that will ultimately decide our future. And if the future outcome isn't what we thought it was going to be, and simply put, guys, our habits and where we're at aren't good enough to earn the outcome that we're chasing, okay? So that is crucial for our culture. That is a crucial understanding, especially with the generation of kids that we are coaching, to where at any moment, if they want something, they can grab this phone and they can get Chipotle right now. And it doesn't matter. It's instant gratification. What they want, when they want it, how they want it, instantly. We all know life and ball doesn't work that way. So by talking about this a bunch daily and showing them that they have the power to choose, right, these disciplined daily habits, great things are going to come for them. All right. And we, instead of phrasing it in that long way, we say, hey, that's a be the alpha mindset. All right. That an alpha in our program is an individual who consistently improves his or her best on a daily basis and performs when the family needs them most. Okay. So day in and day out, you are working to make marginal gains because you understand the importance that every single day is an opportunity to get better. Every single day is an opportunity to practice with discipline those daily habits. So when the opportunity comes, you're trained for that moment. That opportunity is not an open invitation. The job interview is going to come. The speech is going to come. The semifinal state championship, MAC championship game is going to come, and you're either trained or you're untrained for the moment. If you have a be the alpha mindset, that every single day you're going to be the one to get the job done, that you're going to be the one that we can count on and improve your best on a daily basis and perform when we need you most, then you're someone that we can truly call an alpha and someone that has wholeheartedly embraced our culture here in Northeast Ohio with our Flash Fast family. Okay. So how does that happen, right? How does that happen? What are the traits that we need to work on so that each and every single day I can make these marginal gains? And over the course of time, I know that I'm going to improve my best. I'm going to be a lifelong learner, and I'm going to find a way to be trained, be ready, be prepared for when the moment comes, right? We as a staff have kind of identified 5 traits, right? First and foremost, you have to have relentless focus and effort, right? You need to seek productive discomfort. You need to learn from your mistakes. You have to defeat fear, and you have to be coachable, right? The thing that I love about this is that none of this has anything to do with how any of your players pick their parents, right? Genetics has nothing to do with this. Talent has nothing to do with this, right? This all is an individual choice to improve in these areas, and all of us can do that.
Some great messages there from Coach Lewis as you get into the season. Coach Lewis did join us on the podcast before in our home team series. I will link that episode in the show notes. If you're somebody who has trouble balancing the football side of things with your family life, I think there's a lot of insight into that one. If you haven't heard it before, it's definitely one worth listening to. We've also had several members of the Kent State Flash's coaching staff on the podcast. I will link those in the show notes as well. If you want the entire talk from Coach Lewis, you can save 50% on that with the code CCPFlash. Again, that link will be in the show notes. Follow all we're doing at coachandcoordinator.com and follow me on Twitter at Coach K. Grabowski.